Hi all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Ollie and I'm a sewist. I sew clothes, I quilt, do a bit of embroidery, I have a particular passion for cross stitch, and I also own quite a few vintage sewing machines. I have an antique one called Grandma from 1912. I have 5 or 6 hand cranks from the 1920s, a hand crank with RAF decals from the 1930s, 40s, and a singer stylist from the 1970s. Oh, and Jerome. I can't forget Jerome. He's my Janome from the early 2000s. But I'm not here to talk about sewing machines today. What I'm actually here to talk about is these little things. These are plastic clips, and they are revolutionising the sewing room. So to find out more about them and to do a little bit of a review, follow me into today's video. I picked this set up on Amazon, and as you can see, it comes in a really nice presentation tin with cute little doggies on the front and a checkered top. The tin is a lightweight metal and is light enough for you to pick up by the handle should you want to, and it's quite secure, so it doesn't come apart. Inside the tin you have obviously the clips. I'll just tip them all out for a moment. You'll see you get 2 different sizes. There's the larger size and the slightly smaller. There you go, that's the size difference. Now, just so that you know, the slightly larger clips are just over 2 inches in total length, which is around about 5.5 centimetres. The actual part that holds onto your fabric from here to there is a little over 1 inch, or whoops-a-daisy, near enough 3 centimetres. The smaller one, this one, has a total length of about 1 inch, which is 2.5 centimetres. The part that'll hold onto your fabric, just that bit there, is about 1/2 inch, or 1.5 centimetres. These clips are an ideal substitute for pins in most sewing situations. There are a few tasks that you can't do with these, which we'll get to in a little while. The large clip is obviously ideal for your heavier or thicker fabrics, because obviously it's got more space, and your little clip is ideal for delicate fabrics or slightly thinner ones. I'll just grab a piece of fabric for a moment. I'll show you how the clips actually clip on. This is the larger clip, and I've got a piece of fabric folded in 2. I'm just gonna pop it on like that, and the same with the little clip. Oops. There. Now, they don't come off, they hang on to the fabric quite tightly. Another fantastic advantage with these clips is that you don't accidentally stick your fingers with the sharp end of a pin when you're using them. You can really wobble this about and they're just going nowhere. Now, if I fold this fabric up so it's got a slightly thicker base to it, you'll see that the bigger clips really come into their own, like so. Now, I tend to use these quite a lot. I use them for hemming, for stitching seams, for adding collars. In fact, anywhere that you can clip one of these things to the edge of the fabric, they're ideal for. One of the jobs that you can't use these for is actually quilting a quilt sandwich together. When you've got your front fabric and your backing fabric and your batting or your wadding on the inside, and you're actually doing your designs on the quilt sandwich itself. Obviously you're going to need to use pins or safety pins for that, because the clips, they just won't fit in the middle of your fabric. Now there are a couple of drawbacks with these little clips. The first drawback is that sometimes they can be a little bit hard to actually open and close like that, and sometimes the little spring slips so they don't actually open at all. Now they are easy to fix. I've had these for about a year now, and that's happened to 4 or 5 of them, and they will clip back into place, so you know, all is not lost. You just have to fiddle with them a little bit. The second slight downside with them is that you can't sew over the top of them. I know there are people out there that put pins in fabric and they just merrily sew straight over the top of them. You can't do that with the plastic clips, so you do have to stop, pull them out of the way and carry on sewing. I can see that that would be slightly irritating to somebody that's just used to putting the foot down and just going straight over the top. There's nothing to worry about if you don't actually get your clip out of the way of your foot in time, because what will happen is it'll get so far and then the foot will just push the clip down the fabric anyway. The problem with that is you'll have like a little backlog of clips all collecting down here, which could be a mess. Pile up on aisle 3 even. Overall, I quite like these little clips. They are easy to use, they save stabbed fingers, and they hold your fabric together for as long as you need them to. They don't rust, so they can be stored on the fabric while you've got your unfinished item waiting for you to get the time to work on it. Without the sharp edges, they don't leave pinholes in the fabric, so they're ideal for more delicate fabrics like satins and things like that. Best of all, they're safer in the sewing area if you've got pets, because obviously if you accidentally drop one of these on the floor, you don't have to worry about them ending up in a pet's tootsie or something. If you want some of these clips, I've put a link to the Amazon site where I got them from down below. This video isn't sponsored, but I do have Amazon affiliate links, which means I get a little bit of a kickback for each qualified sale. It's not a lot, it's a little bit like a tip, and it helps YouTubers and bloggers like myself buy the things that keep us going, like coffee or tea, or in my case chocolate. Well, actually, if I'm honest, it's tea and chocolate, but not at the same time because the chocolate would melt. But anyway, I hope you like the video and that it helps you make a decision on whether you want to purchase these clips and if they'll work in your sewing adventures. If you did like the video, give it a thumbs up in the little box below, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to make sure you get a notification next time I upload a video. If you want to check out my blog over at simplystitchy.blogspot.com as well, you'll actually see me using these clips on a scrunchie blog that I did, which I'll also put a link into the description box for you. Thanks for watching. Wherever you're sewing, I hope you're enjoying it, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.